All right, today we're going to be taking a look at the top 5 ugliest characters in Injustice 2 Mobile. We're not going to be taking into consideration any specials or any passives of any sort into this list. We're just going to be going off pure looks. I would really appreciate it if you guys hit the like and subscribe button, as it really helps me out. But with that being said, let's start the video. Number 5, Silver Flash. I'm actually really disappointed in the way this character looks, just because in the console version of Injustice 2, Flash has a lot of really cool gears, and they didn't seem to use any of them for the mobile version. The only character that I think looks decent is Speed Force the Flash. I really like his helmet. But Silver Flash just looks really, really weird, especially his headpiece. When you look at the artwork, that doesn't look anything like what his actual character looks like. His helmet kind of reminds me like a turtle shell or something like that. I don't know. It doesn't look right. It looks like a completely different take on the entire suit. If you took that off and you just kind of put a very simple mask that's kind of skin tight to him, I think that would look a lot better than this helmet looking thing that he has going on. Even when you max him out, I still think the helmet looks pretty bad, and just his entire face looks really weird. When you finish a fight and you finish it with Silver Flash, you know how every character does that little victory dance or whatever. His face just looks so off. His eyes look really weird. His jawline, the way that he kind of smiles, it doesn't look right. I don't really like the way that this character looks, which again is kind of disappointing since in the console version they have really a lot of really cool different looks for him. Number 4, Silver Joker. There is a lot of problems with the way this character looks, especially his chest piece. He is not wearing a shirt, and he has a really ugly haha tattoo or scar across his chest. That looks really off, man. I have never seen a Joker without a shirt on, and after this game, I never want to see that again. When you put all gears on him, you would expect him to have at least a shirt or something on, but you just get a coat that leaves the chest wide open. And the coat isn't even purple or green, it's just black. So that's kind of disappointing. His pants are also disappointing. Those kind of look like a one piece where you should have those little straps that are hanging around him over the shoulder, but I guess he decided not to wear that and he just decided to have those dangle around his legs, which looks really off. I don't think any character or any person in the world could pull that off. So this character just looks really wrong in all of that. Also, he has this really weird biker gloves, which I don't know why he's wearing in the first place. His headpiece actually looks pretty cool. I like the creepy smile that he has on. I like his hair, and the fact that it's green makes him look really cool. But everything else about this character, it's a thumbs down for me. I really, really wish they would change the way this character looks. Number 3, classic Batman. There is only a few things that I like about this character. One of them being the headpiece. I think the headpiece and the cape look pretty dang cool. I like the fact that he's gray. Most of him is gray. However, I don't like the purple gloves. I don't like the bat symbol. I don't like the fact that he's wearing kind of like the old fashioned underwear thing. It just doesn't look right. And I know a lot of you are going to say, well, he is a classic character. You know, this is the way that they used to make the characters look like. And I get that. However, that doesn't stop the fact that, this character doesn't look cool. I'm also not a huge fan of like the animation that's going on. Some characters have this weird animation like Batman Ninja characters and classic Superman where they look super animated. And I know that's the point. That's what they're supposed to look like. But, for classic Batman, I think they could have at least made an exception and kind of made him look a little bit more realistic, kind of like the rest of the characters. I think the only character that looks cool that has this sort of animation going on is classic Superman. But everybody else, Batman Ninja characters, classic Batman, they just don't look cool. It looks really weird. The back of his cape is blue, which I'm not a huge fan of. I think it should just be black all around. I don't know, man. This character just looks really weird. And those purple gloves just really throw me off. Every time I see those purple gloves, I don't know what they're doing there. It kind of reminds me of Joker a little bit, but yeah, I don't really like the way this character looks. Number 2, Raiden. I am not a fan of the way this character looks for many reasons. Okay, the cape looks really weird on him. The shoulder pads look super weird on him. The fact that he's wearing a full-on mask, it kind of makes him look like a superhero, which he's not supposed to be. At least not from the vibe I get from Mortal Kombat. And the big hole in his chest just looks really, really weird. That was a horrible idea to have on him. At least in the console version, you can take that off and put different gears. But in the mobile version, we're stuck with this look. You can't get rid of that. And I'm not a huge fan of that at all. Okay, I am a huge fan of the Mortal Kombat series, and whenever I hear Raiden and I listen to him and I see him on screen, he never really gives off the vibe that he's a god of thunder. He's just super down to earth. He doesn't wear anything over the top. And whenever he looks cool, it's when he actually calls in his thunder. So I think that's the way he should look in every game. He shouldn't look too complicated. I think his specials and his basic attack hits should have lightning coming out of him, and that's it. That's cool enough for most people, I think, because that's one of the most likable things about Raiden. And the fact that they made him look like a movie character just looks really weird, and I am very disappointed in the way that they, made this character look. Number one, Cheetah. This character has been done wrong in so many different ways, and the way she looks is one of them. I mean, just look at her, man. I find it super lazy when, creators create new characters for comic books or for movies or for games or whatever. I hate it when they take animals and they just sit them up straight and then that's called a new character. That is super, super lazy. And Cheetah is definitely one of those characters because she's obviously just a cheetah that's standing up like a human. That's really dumb. I don't like the whole process of making her. And the fact that she's wearing like trash all around her, just no, no, this is a horrible idea. Her tail, the little armor thing in her tail looks like a diet Coca-Cola can. Her underwear looks like rags, and her chest piece, if you could even call it that, just looks like the brown napkins that you get off of those public bathrooms. I don't know, man. If there was any character that is really easy to make a cosplay for, it would be this character. This character's cosplay would cost you like $10 at most, because that's how cheap she looks. Look at her. Her arm bracelets. I don't know why she's wearing arm bracelets. That looks really, really dumb. And her headpiece. What's up with that? I don't know. Maybe there's some history about this character that I don't know about. But one thing I know about is that some characters have really bad histories, but they have really cool outfits. And I'm really disappointed that they didn't do that with this character. All right, guys, that was the list. I hope you enjoyed that. I think most characters in this game actually look pretty great. Most of them have their own unique look in terms of their outfit and their art style, which I really love. It keeps the game a little bit more fresh. There is only a small bunch of characters that I don't like the way they look at all. This is just five of them. I would say throughout the whole game, there's probably only 10 characters that I don't like the way they look. And for me, I honestly don't really care that much about looks. This was just kind of like a fun video to make. And that's because I'm usually focused about how fun a character is and how much damage they can do. And that's really at the top of my list. The way they look is at the complete bottom. If a character looks awesome while also being great in terms of passives, in terms of specials and damage and stuff like that, that's just an added bonus. I don't really care. Let's say, for example, I'm not a huge fan of the way the Last Life Joker looks, but he is really great in terms of his gameplay. So obviously, I'm going to build him. And as an opposite example, I think Red Hood looks really cool, but I would never build him because he's really trash. So you kind of gotta take that with a grain of salt. It's not always about the looks, or I don't even think it's a little bit about the looks. I think it's all about the gameplay, the damage, and especially the funness of a character. I don't think that's how you should say that, but I'm just gonna say it that way: the funness of the character. But with that being said, I hope you guys have a good day and stay clean and stay safe.